The first time Commander Rian laid eyes on Empress Zarenth of the Valorian Dominion, she stood on a floating obsidian dais, surrounded by shimmering energy. Her presence alone commanded silence. Every alien warrior in the throne chamber knelt instantly, heads bowed to the floor. Except him. Rian stood tall, bruised from battle, armor scorched, wrists bound in magnetic cuffs, but unbroken. The Empress's gaze swept across the crowd like a deadly blade. Her skin gleamed with a violet luminescence, as if carved from starlight. Her hair, long and metallic silver, moved like wind-blown silk even though the air was still. Eyes like molten gold narrowed as she studied him. "Human," she said, her voice echoing through the chamber, amplified by unseen technology. "Why do you stare at me?" Her honor guard stiffened, hands moving to their weapons, anticipating his answer. Rian swallowed, refusing to look away. "Because," he said, "you're the most powerful being I've ever seen." The chamber froze. No one in the Dominion spoke to her like that. Ever. Whispers rippled in every direction. Zarenth stepped down from her dais. Each click of her armored boots sent a faint tremor through the floor. She circled him slowly. "You should fear me," she said quietly. "My people fear me. Entire systems fear me." "I don't," Rian replied. Her eyes hardened. "And why is that?" Rian smiled faintly. "You're looking at me like you're trying to understand me, not destroy me." A flash of something, shock, amusement, crossed her face. Zarenth leaned in. "You speak boldly for a prisoner." "I've always been terrible at following rules," Rian said. For the first time in many cycles, the Empress of the Valorians let out a soft exhale, half a laugh, half disbelief. "A human," she murmured. "Interesting." And with a wave of her hand, she freed him. The middle, and Empress unlike any author a dangerous curiosity. Rian was escorted to the Empress's private chambers, the same place no soldier, ambassador, or captive had ever been allowed. Zarenth stood by a massive window overlooking the Imperial Nebula. Swirling pink and blue clouds of cosmic dust reflected in her gold eyes. "Most who enter this room," she said without turning around, "are either chosen as my advisors or executed." Rian raised an eyebrow. "Which one am I?" "You," she said, finally turning to face him, "are neither." She moved closer, her cloak glimmering with crystalline threads. "You intrigue me, human." "That usually leads to trouble," he replied. Her lips curved slightly. "Perhaps." They sat across from each other. A table formed between them out of thin air, Dominion technology responding to her thoughts. Zarenth studied him with clinical precision. "You survived 3 of my warriors in combat," she said. "You refused to kneel. You spoke to me as though I were your equal." "You are my equal," Rian said. Her expression faltered, the slightest crack in the Empress's perfect composure. "No one," she said softly, "has ever said that to me." He leaned forward. "Maybe that's the problem." Zarenth stared at him with an intensity that made the air feel electric. "Human," she said. "What do you want from me?" Rian held her gaze. "To know you." The Empress inhaled sharply. "You do not fear death, do you?" "No," Rian answered honestly. "But I fear wasting my time pretending the universe is smaller than it is." The Empress looked away, and that alone told Rian more about her than any file ever could. A lonely monarch. Over the next several days, they spoke, long hours at a time. Rian learned what her warriors never dared whisper. Zarenth had been crowned at 19 after a political uprising killed her family. She had won the throne not by right of blood, but by combat, defeating every clan leader who challenged her. She ruled through strength, always strength. but strength came with a price. You have no friends? Rian asked one evening. Empresses have no friends, she answered. What about lovers? He pushed gently. Her golden eyes hardened. Love is weakness. You don't believe that. Zarin stiffened. I must believe it. Silence stretched between them. Rian finally whispered, You're alone, Zarinth. Her jaw clenched. For a long moment, she looked like she might strike him. Instead, she turned away, her cloak trembling slightly. You speak truths no one else dares to, she said quietly. And I cannot decide if I should admire you or fear you. Rian stepped closer. Why not both? She didn't move away. The invasion and the choicea threat to her throne. A week after Rian's arrival, alarms blared across the Dominion Palace. The Council of Clans, jealous of the Empress's power, had decided to overthrow her. They launched an attack with thousands of elite soldiers and assault drones. Rian found Zarinth in the war chamber, armor partially donned, expression cold and deadly. Stay out of this, she told him. It is not your fight. He shook his head. You're wrong. It is. You are not Dominion, she insisted. No, he said, taking her hand. I'm yours. She froze completely, utterly. The Empress, who had never feared a single being, looked suddenly fragile. Human, she whispered. Do not make promises you cannot keep. I don't break them. Before she could respond, the palace shook. Explosions erupted across the walls. Her guards flooded into the chamber. Empress. The council breaches the outer gates. Zarintha's expression snapped back to steel. She released Rian's hand. If you fight beside me, she said, you will likely die. Rian smirked. I was already dead the moment your warriors captured me. Zarinth stared at him. Then, slowly, she extended a second weapon, a Dominion plasma spear. Then fight with me, Rian, she said. Not as a prisoner, but as my chosen. There was a tremor in her voice. She didn't hide. He took the weapon. Lead the way, Empress. The battle for the Dominion. The palace hallways became chaos, blinding lights, explosions, soldiers clashing with lethal precision. The council's forces were many. Too many. A real one. And Rian knew, without doubt, that he had changed the fate of an empire and the heart of the woman who ruled it.